I have built a rocket stove. So how does this work? What is a rocket stove? There are two types. One reburns the smoke, while the other keeps the smoke hotter for longer so all of it can burn. Here's a design you'll commonly see on the internet, but the problem with this is it's very complicated to build. Something like this is much easier to build, where you have a metal divider and then you have bricks around the outside. And those bricks provide the insulation you need, although you need a removable brick around here so that you can add fuel to your fire. And the hot air coming up here draws in cold air right here. And this metal plate in between the two gets warmed up by the hot smoke and warms up the cold air. And so very little heat is wasted. The taller you can make this, the more efficient it will be, but there's diminishing returns. There is a flat plate that goes all across the bottom with a hole there and a hole right there. Then there's another flat plate as a divider. Smoky air heats up cold air. The cold air comes in, goes across, and it's heated up, and by the time it reaches the fire, it's already hot. So you have a giant fire with almost no wood, and the fire travels quite a bit. And if I leave this out for a minute, it dwindles down. I can put it back, it throttles back up. It did not throttle up that quick because it ran out of fuel. It doesn't throttle up that quickly, but it throttles up because the smoke is pulling cold air in and also heating up the cold air. I can throttle it down and throttle it back up and throttle it back down, and it throttles right back up. There's the fuel. Runs out of fuel very quickly because it burns really quickly and efficiently. And it makes it quite far. Doesn't produce that much smoke. Could produce less if I made this smaller. And the hot air pulls in the exhaust air, so the higher the column, the more cold air comes in, but it doesn't come in cold because the higher it is, the cooler the exhaust air gets, and the warmer the intake air gets. Alright, I have discovered that I could surround something I'm cooking, and it will work way better. Because it's touching the flame, it interrupts the airflow just a little bit, but I'm not letting any temperature escape, so it's working more like an oven than a stove, which works better. It's boiling, and I'm having to blow it downward because of just how much it's boiling. Alright, that's it. It's now running as a rocket oven. I throttled it down significantly so it has a little intake and just a little bit of exhaust, plus plenty of exhaust leaks. And it's just running off of charcoal, and it's boiling. The soap without issue. I am in Tanzania, Africa right now, and I am making soap. using sodium and potassium carbonate mixture from ash. It's really boiling. I cannot put a brick on top of it because it will boil over. It gets too hot. Works too well. So that's it. It does run off of charcoal and wood just about equally. It's better to put wood in and then let it turn to charcoal, and you don't have to refill it, but the charcoal works with half the heat or a third the heat. I don't know, somewhere around there. So it runs both, but you need to decide how much heat you want for your fire. You might have to throttle it down like I did. I live in the US. While I was recording the video clips I did, I was in Tanzania, Africa on a missions trip. I'm going to leave a link to one of the tests I did that I did not include in this video.